Hello, this is TLV with 100,000 diamonds plus. And today I will do a Arcane Frame Quarry coding tutorial in ComputerCraft. In ComputerCraft, here's our computer and here's our disk drive. So let's see. Just computer, easy to find, and disk drive. There we go, disk drive from ComputerCraft. This is not gonna be a thoroughly tutorial on how to code ComputerCraft. There are other very good tutorials on YouTube if you want to learn slowly, piece by piece. I can recommend Direwolf20. He made a very good ComputerCraft tutorial. I will just do the basic commands very quickly and then get right to coding the Arcane Frame Quarry. So this is the ComputerCraft here. So let's see. What can we do here? Help programs, help programming. You can learn about different things. And there is for directory. You can see I've made some test programs here. And there's a directory called ROM, CD-ROM. Let's check what's in here. Oh, there are some APIs, some programs, and startup for boot up. So we go into APIs. And ComputerCraft uses a programming language called Lua to code. So that's what we're gonna code in. So let's check what's in here. So there are some APIs that we can use in our code that's in the ComputerCraft, and an API is a package of pre-made code that you can easily do to skip doing a lot of extra shit to make it easier for you. For example, redstone, a lot of redstone commands, colors for the bundled cables, for example, to the disk drive, how to save in disks and loads and everything. It's already there. And the CD programs, and here are some programs as well. For example, Lua. This is a console where you can, if you want to do a advanced command, write a command. You don't want to code a program, you just want to test a command straight onto a bundled cable or whatever. Then you can just go into the Lua and do the command. Now we're in the Lua and we can code. It's like a command prompt. So we have to exit by writing exit like it says above. Call exit, parentheses, to exit. Then we're out again. Let's check again what's in here. Reboot, we have different things. And what you should know as well is that holding Control S will shut down the machine. Holding Control R will reboot it. Control R, there, I rebooted it. Edit is to create or edit a program. So let's call our program Quarry. No, Arcane AQ. We can probably edit the name later. AQ, Arcane Quarry. So now we're in the program. You see down to the right here, you get the line, which line we're at. Press Control to access menu, and we can save and exit. Exit. Now we're out again. Nice. So let's get in and go with the basic commands. So this is very different from fourth, which I coded before. So this is both easier and difficult in some ways. So edit AQ. So you can define variables by local, or if you want a global variable that can be accessed everywhere, just write it. X equals 1, for example. You don't need the semicolons and shit everywhere. Lua doesn't need that, so it's sometimes convenient and sometimes weird. Classes, for example, similar to Java, can be done with functions within a program. Function. Hello. Now this is a function. And here I ended the function. So now I have to write a code. For example, I can make hello world, the first program you want to make, inside a function here. Print hello world. End of parenthesis. Okay. And now I can just call for the function. I'm calling for the function. This is all what my program is doing now. So we already made a class, and in this class we made hello world, and now we're calling for the save, exit, and we run AQ. Hello world. Edit AQ again. Now we can make, so these functions will be very handy for our Arcane Frame Quarry. We will need so much code if we don't use classes or functions. Similar to the words we did in fourth. Like I wrote one left, a word, a lot of code, and then right, and then a lot of code for that one. And I want my frame query to what it should do, I will tell you in a second. First, let's check on some other commands. So there is APIs for math, if you want to make advanced math commands. Redstone for different things. We can check here. Help redstone. So we can get a lot of help just in Computercraft here. We don't even have to go online. So set bundle cable here in the side of the computer and colors. So this will come in handy, this piece of code from the API. So I'll probably use this in the code. This is the back of the computer. Whoa, freeze lag. Like here is the side that represents which side I'm gonna do the output on. So I can do on the top or the side, left side or right side, which is pretty cool. So let's edit AQ again. Let's make a conditional statement here. X equals 1. If x equals 1, then so let's do print hello world. Else nothing. End. Now we made a program that will print hello world if it's x equals 1. I can do smaller or bigger. I can end this to smaller or bigger, or if I write tilde, see if I can write tilde here. I need to change what this is not equals to, and here is smaller or x is bigger than. Let's do equals again. Alright, so exit and we do AQ. Oops, what did I do now? Line 4 has some unfinished code. Oh, I forgot this one here. Save again, run AQ. Hello world. Edit AQ. In. Quickly. X equals 2. Now it shouldn't run this code at all. Nothing will happen. AQ. Nothing happens. Edit AQ. Now we'll do a while loop. While x is, we can do maybe while x is smaller than 10, do, so erase the else here. So here's a while loop. This will loop it until the condition is met. So we can make infinite loops here. The print hello world, but this will be an infinite loop because x will never reach 10. So we'll just fix that by doing that x equals 1 plus 1 here. Now every time it runs a loop, we'll increment the x by 1. Okay, run AQ again. Hello world. Probably write it 9 times here because I started with x equals 2 quickly. So, and another loop is a set loop, which has requirements for I. So this is not an infinite loop like a while loop that waits for fuck me, I need to write not Korean keyboard, English keyboard. This loop lasts until the this is a finite loop, not an infinite loop like the while loop. The while loop waits for the true requirement, waits for the true loop to get true. I equals true, and it will run 10 times. The for loop will run as many times as you define here in the state. Oh, my English is failing me. I hope you follow me. Okay, so we don't need... This has nothing to do with x, we don't need to increment x or anything. This will just print hello world 10 times. Can even remove this guy. So if you have a loop you want to do a set amount of times, you use the for loops. If you wait for some requirement to be met, then you use the while loop, basically. So let's try this. Now let's edit again, let's do it 3 times. So this should run 4 times because we start at 0. So sometimes we want to start at 1. So let's see here. 0 to 3 is 4. Oops. I forgot to do here. Because it's a loop. It's very difficult to talk and do this at the same time. And listen to Hell March in the background, I think, from Red Alert 2. AQ. It runs it 4 times, like I said, because it starts at 0. So sometimes you wanna, if you get confused, you wanna start at 1. If you wanna run 10 times, for example, you have to start at 1 to 10. If you start at 0 here, this might be confusing, but this is the standard, I would say, layout or look for this for loop, but it will actually run 11 times. So it's important to think about that. So, shall we begin? I think I'm ready. So we got the for loop, the while loop, and the conditional statement if. If it's this, or if it's that, or and we have APIs for different things. And I think you will, if there's any question marks, you will learn while we do this. So what we first want to do, we want our program to dig like this. For example, if I want to dig 20 by 20, it should first dig here. That's 10 by 10 because our Arcane Frame Quarry digs 10 by 10 at the bottom, right? 10, it moves over here, digs here, then goes down here and digs here, and then goes down and digs here. So it goes this way and backward, zigzag. So first want some code that can make it dig. And first I do these two here. These two are made so you can make comments in your code so you actually know what you are coding. So let's put our variables at the top of the code. And here we want to start with the code. So I'm not going to start with the program now, I'm just going to start with functions. We want to use functions for our whole program here, basically, that we call into the main program. So the main program will look like this, maybe get digger. Fuck me, where are they? Get coordinates. And these functions over here, this is the program here, the program. And up here we're gonna make functions for these guys, for example. And since this is not fourth, and we can edit our code however we want, we can go down and up and just make it tidy and nice. So we want to make it in an order where you use the most important code at the top, so you don't have to scroll down forever to get to your important code, the one that needs to be edited, like some diagram or some map that I'm gonna do later. We can put further down in the code, basically. So now we'll throw most of the commands and we'll start here. So let's start with a function called getDigger. Fuck me. And the digger should dig, right? So what should we do? This is RS is a short variable for redstone. So we want to set the bundle, the output, the backside. I'm gonna change to English keyboard again. The backside to colors. This is also from the API. This is the colors API here, and white. So this is a nicer thing about this. Let's save here, exit. We don't have to worry like forth about the binary values for all these colors. The binary values here 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, etc. But we just have to worry about the colors now. So it's gonna be very nice. I could make functions for all colors to make the words smaller, but we don't need that. So dig left. This is what I want here. This is what I think I want to do. Dig. Move left, move right on magenta. Move forward on light blue, backwards yellow. AL, this is arcane left. So this is what we saw before, the arcane board that digs sideways. So let's focus on these first here. Ooh, some Mega Man in background. Edit AQ. So how long are we gonna dig for? So let's do a sleep command. That's very useful to know. Let's sleep for the input. I can have sleep 1 second here, for example. 1 or 1.0 looks better, I think. I don't think it matters really. Sleep for 3 seconds or whatever. So this is just a wait command, like ticks in fourth, for example. Ticks. So we want to sleep for depth. And let's make this a user input later. So let's define it up here in our variables. Shit, there we go. End of variables. Want depth to be 0, right? Just define it. Just define the variable. We will play around with it later. And I make this global. I don't make it local, so we can access it in all the code here. Sleep depth, and then I want so the Arcane Frame Quarry doesn't bug out the redstone or anything. I actually want to set it back to 0. This is not needed, but I like to do it. Bundled. Hey, what the fuck? Help redstone. Bundled, okay. Bundled. Set bundled output. Oh, did I erase sleep? I didn't save it. Sleep depth. And then we go to set this back to 0. Output, and we set it to back to 0. And this is our digger. The whole digger function. Let's write it here. Digger. And let's end this function here. And now it's done. So now we go into the next function here, which should be move. Like I did in the fourth programming. This program, or this function, we're gonna call it xmove. And I'm gonna show you that you can call variables from outside. So if a user input is left, we can take that user input and move it into the X move and make the code much smaller than we did in fourth. Left, right, forward, backwards. And this code will depend on the distance and the direction. If you follow my mouse here, it will, let's see, here's my mouse again. It will dig and go up again. This one doesn't need to go up because it's an Arcane Quarry. It will dig, move, dig, move, dig, move, dig, and continue until the user input is met. So we're going to have user inputs for all of this later. How far it's going to go in the X direction. This is the X coordinates here. So we'll see about that, continue in the next episode. This is very quick here, going through this very quickly. So see you next time. Bye.